So, swimming in a sea of loneliness by myself as the only extraterrestrial and extraspatially special of any importance in all area, space, and time, with broken mental cases everywhere I fucking look, I was surveying the dipshit at dinner, being the available moving people that I inhabit space and have to sit in front of from time to time, and it came across the dipshit being my born father, my born mother, my toilet paper Tiafrio, 1975 edition, and then, let's see, yeah, they're the only ones that spoke. So, my father and Tiafrio decide to strike up the most retarded, historically wrong conversation. I'm assuming tonight's advertisement of everything stupid, wrong, and inaccurate was Elizabeth in the coronation plan of kill everybody and avoid attention on oneself in London as the queen bee of shit in the White House of why can't anybody execute one fucking royal person. Right, so we got that one. Helping and colluding with all area dipshits in every color, ethnic, with the Polynesian look to it. Doesn't matter which house it is. There are high-level officials of a handful of each one of those, I've already verified, in places and chairs based on Elizabeth's problem spot that have never been handled properly. Not for royals, not for the shitbags that I lead in forgotten about children that everybody punishes and nobody ever wants to help. So now that we've got that clear, right, here's the conversation between what Bravo Charlie, being the head asshole Elizabeth, white lady, crazy lady, yeah, that one, and the piece of shit, anything colored Asian, yeah, Polynesian, whatever, same where I come from, it's 4 different houses, and then it is all area Down syndrome, artificially intelligent prodigies from nobody can remember when. Artificial, we used to call it insemination. Yeah, we did. That's what we call the Down syndrome children. They're artificially inseminated wrong and broken. They function a little higher, but their genetics under extra spatial, like laboratory work, is identical to what's going on in, I don't know, like anything that comes out looking a little more Down syndrome. The higher functioning ones have the same chromosomal pattern, though. Yeah, just a little weird how the science works a little better for them on, like, Elizabeth, what are you hiding, you stupid fucking cunt that does nothing for anything white and pure in RH negative and star people territory. Right, leading the charge. Yeah, okay. So, right, so here we are, and multi-problemed issues, multi-layered issues. So I have a trial case of the law kind in breaking natures of law to try to bend over backwards and forwards, left and right, to explain to all area stupid humans how extraterrestrials from whatever work spatially and specially in whatever fashion works for their whatever. We don't have to give you answers, so we use the word whatever. Right, it's like whatever. Bullets work best when we give you direct orders and the only truth you're ever gonna get. Okay, so here's the thing. Right. Why nobody could kill Elizabeth before she started having gorillas in the midst of like, well, why can't you kill a lady that they put in a crown that was already colluding with everything artificially inseminated and artificial prodigies from elsewhere because you're still fucking confused as to how real intelligence and raw intelligence works and how you guys get like stuff and how stuff's created in the future. And right, yeah, how are you running this world? I'm just curious. All areas of stupid. Right, okay. So then here's my other question. So when you knew before I was born in the United States of shitbags, right, that Elizabeth and her people were already colluding and lying to Russia, Big Daddy Russia, and to Big Daddy America as to what and who is actually royal, it would be the lordess and the goddess child that they had forgotten about generations before, who then all of a sudden they started colluding with everything Polynesian and causing a big fucking problem. I mean, it just escalates. It always ends in the same, what the fuck is wrong with you all? There's one queen you need to kill. She's white. And now she's had so much time just sitting in a chair of doesn't do shit except grow the world more dangerously with her inability to, like, actually do the right thing. Right. Okay, so here we are. Why is nobody executing her and everything that's related to her that she had after her wrong chair? We should have nipped that in the bud before then she started having more children and causing more bunnies, more generational problems. Oh my God. But I still have all the same area white military and white countries that are all white boys that should all be able to be friends and hold hands, and we have one line of intelligence. It's extraterrestrial, goddess white, and she's a lordess. And then we, as the responsible parties, after we kill Elizabeth, and we're honest about it with all area black pure and caramel pure and ashy pure, right? Anything that does not contain the broken artificially intelligent, right? Okay, so where's the issue for another 41 years and 40 before me? How about 150 before me? Anybody? Because we left you those answers also. Great. Okay, so here's what the dipshits in Nothing's Accurate. Let's test the lines of communication in Nicole's real Vin, Korean, Russian, Polynesian, everywhere I go, and messages that are all painted wrong. Okay, so in this version of Asia is repainting history along with a British fucking cunt in London named Elizabeth, the most selfish royal that ever lived, and nobody could kill because they got like really bad at their rifle ranges. And communications to people in, like, I don't know, the Swiss Guard, maybe? Oh, no, he protects the Pope. Which one protects, the stupid cunt that hides in Buckingham? Which one is that? Right, would you just, like, the phones don't work over there? I'm just curious, in all areas of stupid that have a line of communication in some white boy territory that, like, it's the same fucking problem on all the reports. What takes you all so fucking long? Get on the same white boy page, talk to a few caramels, talk to a few pure blacks, and a couple of pure ashies, and where's your fucking problem, guys? One fucking royal pain in the ass problem we told you about didn't change, just grew the world more dangerously by giving more rise to the other criminals. I'm looking for superheroes and supervillains. I don't need more criminals, which are all Asian, and all Elizabeth and her offspring and her supporters. Right, okay, so where did I lose all areas of they want to live? Right, so you don't want to die by being executed by all area white boys, right, which have the inside information, the inside track, and need to protect the one God Lord, right, the overlord that's here, right, the one that wants to marry Hitler, got it, okay. So if Russia joined America, and they went this way for Russia, this way in America, misleading everybody, and Germany's in the middle going, wait a minute, who's leading this charge, and why are you coming after Hitler? Like, Hitler is invading Poland to protect the Polish from the Russians. We heard they were cutting off fingers. I have live Bayside confirmation of that. His grandmother's fingers get cut off by Russians, so she liked the Nazis better. Just saying, my Italians hated the Nazis, frightened all fuck because they got robbed by Nazis. So I don't really give a shit. My grandfather killed a few Nazis. Sorry, guys. In nobody gives a shit land. We're over it. It happened last couple of generations. I'm extra spatial and extra special. You didn't get it right back then. You were all fighting. I don't care. Okay, 1978, new set, new director. Hello? Like, why are you wasting time on, like, how and why and what, and who gives a shit? How are you fixing future? All those, like, chair questions of, like, I need answers. Really? For who? Good. Go kill the woman in London. That's the only answer you've ever needed because she's jeopardizing my safety. And go kill anything that has a Down syndrome flap that seems like a highly functioning Down syndrome kid from anybody else's non-special family. Except the countries that have larger populations have artificially intelligent, like, versions of your all area needs their hand held. And maybe if you're lucky, they can move out of the house at some point. Right. But those kids over in those countries share the same qualities. So maybe you could get really loud and obnoxious and say, I would not send my child, being as needy as they are and special needs, to a nuclear facility, or to a banking, CEO position in, like, leading a bank of any kind, right? Or politics of any kind, because they tend to be really obsessive, paranoid, greedy, and they have to keep everything to themselves, and they don't share well. Right, yeah, guess what? Everything Asian, they also share those same qualities. So where the fuck did we lose all area white boys that are not Asian, and everything black that's not Asian, and everything caramel that's not Asian, and everything ashy that's not Asian? Because if you're going to save the world, guess what? You're saving it from the Asians hurting everybody and making everybody sick and killing them earlier, sooner. While you're fighting over, is it a Nazi? Is it a Russian? Is it, what do I like? What do I not? Here's a clue. Okay, we put all the Soviets of the 4 pure bloods, along with God, who's not Asian, inside of a Soviet Union in extra spatial territory where the Swiss own the entire mountain range of the Alps. Good. Okay, in this scenario, that's one Soviet Union protects 4 pure blood houses of equal stability in order to protect a 1-star goddess from elsewhere named Cattaruzza, and she just wants Hitler, and there's no choice in that one factor. Great. So now we got 1-star goddess, 1-star god, 1978 they come. Here's what happens to 2020. Everybody around the world does absolutely fucking nothing, right? Got that, saw that. Okay, they did nothing to correct all the problems. They just dangerously led into more dangerous problems. The more they discovered, the more dangerous they got. Great. So 4-color pure blood houses with nothing Asian inside of the Soviet Union for stability purposes of using the USSR still works in one uniform. Great. Of a word only. Perfect. We're not moving placement cards because the Swiss owns the entire Alps that goes French, Italian. Nobody gives a shit. Right. Okay. Same concept here. Just don't get lost in anything else than what I'm saying at the moment. In planning, don't plan anything. Just listen. Great. Okay. So we got 4 purebloods, and then we have a hemorrhoid called anything Asian, and Elizabeth wearing a crown, and anything directly related to her, and any supporters of any of the aforementioned. Great. Okay, so here's a 4. The aforementioned are pure white, ashy, caramel, and black. And anything from ashy to classy is covered under those 4 aforementioned, and anything that supports me stays in the top of safety category and moves on to whatever we do next. And anything that supported Elizabeth or anything Asian, oh my god, look at that. It drops to a hemorrhoid that we need to surgically remove since before I was born, but now ever so more quickly would be a great idea. Great. Okay, so there's your teams. Where did we lose you over the last 41 more dangerous years? In nothing else ever mattered. We're not asking questions about why they came one way, the others came. It's all, I don't know, where do you get your human intelligence from? And where did you get your fancy paperwork? Because I only gave out one plan, one option, and one trajectory. And somehow you guys didn't pick Mariah off the floor. You went with Elizabeth, the problem child. You totally disregarded the Beauregard, G-U-A-R-D, in B-E-A-U, Mariah McClurg-Watt, and Clifford Sr. Gunder, right? Okay, they brought into the world all 10 awesome kids that were important, but the third was the most important. My mom, right, that would be Linda. You missed that birth. And I came as host to the unsuspecting mother of all area down in American White for the USSA and the USA and the US. All covered under that one same, we have one God, the USSR and the USSA, the USA, and the US. Great. Okay, same plan for the 4 Soviet unions that are on top. Right, the 4 houses that are covered by the Soviet Union on top. Right, yeah, and then the hemorrhoid is still the same whether it says USSA, USA, or US. Got it? Great. So why are we fucking still sitting in a car by myself explaining this to you in real life? We still have a major problem. Hello, human. Great. So Lewis confused himself. He looked on Google and he says, okay, so now they tell me that I have to be quiet because they're the aficionados. He says, okay, well, do you know how many Americans died in the Confederacy? I'm like, wait a minute. The Confederacy, isn't that Russia? I'm pretty sure. I explained, I saw the Dukes of Hazzard sign in the American television show, and also from Texas, in a Czar special BBC put on. I caught it with the corner of my eye because nobody mentioned it. Same flag in Russia's whatever, they were touristy whatever, and making something up in historical, like, Britain's version of it. I would have to check with a real Russian on whether it was accurate or not. I don't believe a fucking thing out of London. But anyway, so being that that is a Confederate flag in the U.S., I'm going to assume it's in cahoots with brothers from Russia and Big Dirty Project, right, on USSR of whatever, and the USSA. So, right, I got that one. They lost it. Lewis, they, like, right over his Korean and Chinese input of, like, broken science, along with the London asshole. Right, so that's how Lewis and Linda were built, before I got here. And that's why I needed to be scooped up right away, because I was not going to be anything like that area of all stupid that was compromised before my birth. And before I left all area extra spatial, before which we were warning every single way on the way in. Right, so where did I lose my somebody helpfuls along the way? Of, like, nothing's ever gonna matter that happened in the past. Nothing's gonna be fixed in the future if you keep focusing on all areas stupid in the past, and you keep asking questions about the past that don't fucking matter. It's always the same. Soviet Union is on top with 4 stability. Pure blood houses, being ashy, being caramel, being melanin rich, and being some form of white. Perfect! Anything that contains any form of Asian by facial recognition goes directly to the bottom, and anything that supports anything Asian over its own pure blood house goes to the bottom of the shit pile and needs immediate execution and surgical removal for all the area extra specials and spatials and purebloods. How is that for fixing the future, guys? Great, I thought that was a really easy plan. Where did I lose you and you don't trust each other? Anyone, right? Yeah, see, world leadership would be a lot easier if we just follow God's plan from the very beginning. I know I lose you with the word God. Great. What's better? Ancient star person? I don't care what word you want me to use. Same Nicole Cattaruzza. That's usually why I go by my name and not, like, fancy titles of, like, Svetlana. I'm like, whatever, the Shetland pony from New York. Yeah, that would be me in this dog and pony show. Where the fuck is anybody helpful, like, coming to rescue me? I just need a small part party that understands who Hitler and I actually are, and like we don't give a shit about what happened, and like everybody forgot about it anyway, so how are we fixing the future, right? And why do I have to have so many tryouts? Oh, right. Also did bring up in front of all area compromised at dinner, the guy on Roy Drive in Nesconset that came from somewhere in COMMAK. He had a Newfoundland, a big black, ugly, disgusting, drooly thing. He drove a Jeep. Right, yeah, he and I slept together a couple of times. Not important. Name was Neil. Right, he lived on Roy Court. Whatever. Nobody gives a shit. I met him at HOFSTRA. I don't know. Whatever. Anything else that area of, like, invading my privacy needs to know about? Great. Okay, great. If you could document that for head office, right, and then help Niklaus move along, because nobody gives a shit, and it's never gonna matter, and people need to die. Great. Okay, thanks.